Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome you to the course Change Your Mind, Create New Results. I'm Dr. Fariba Vesali, a medical doctor, have been in practice for over 19 years and a certified neurochange solutions consultant. My mission is empowering individuals, teams, and organizations to create cohesive, creative, and vibrant environments that enhances productivity and well-being and make a positive global impact. I'm so excited I'm here today with you, and I hope you're ready to learn some new information to create powerful changes that you desire in your life and at your work. So all of you have a workbook in front of you. We're going to use this workbook in 3 different ways. Number one, there are activities in this workbook that you're going to write down the answers to questions, and by participating in activities and writing down the answer to the questions, you're going to understand the concept better and you're going to remember the concepts better. Number 2, when you write down where you are right now in the future, you see how much progress you've made where you were in the past. And then number 3, there are examples in the workbook. By reviewing the examples, you're going to refresh your memories, and then you understand the concept better, and then you remember it better. So you don't have to write down a lot in the workbook because the main concepts and models are already written in the workbook, but by participating in the exercises, as this course is an interactive course, you're going to write down in some part of the workbook. And you basically are going to get the the audio copies of the Dr. Joe's videos that we're going to show you during this course after you finish the course, that I'm pretty sure you know that this is just for you to keep and not share it with others because you're so special that we're going to share these with you. The people cannot find these audios anywhere else. So if there are some people among us who do not like to write down in books, let's change it from now. Let's write down your name and your contact information on the first page of your book, just in case you misplace it somewhere, people could return it to you, because we don't have the extra copies of the workbook, and you don't find this workbook anywhere else, online or anywhere else. So, and you don't want to take the course without the workbook, obviously, right? All right. All right, I see you've done with this. So this workbook is copyright, and in break or sometimes in the future, if you're interested to know the details, you can just read the cover of the book, the back cover of the book, for more details. But please refrain from making copies from any part of this book and distributing to others. And we already discussed it that, as you know, at the end of this course, you all get a certificate of completion, which means that you have taken this course, but you cannot teach this to other individuals, and just individuals who've been certified by Neurochange Solutions company can teach this course. Any questions? All right then. So there are many companies that have been taking this course for their employees, and also some leaders of organizations have taken this course individually. So there are some of the companies that we put on the next few slides. So you see these companies are all over the world, and they're using this course. They've already taken this course and have been using its benefit. So you see some very well-known: Microsoft, Pfizer, Target. I'm not going to read the whole list, so just feel free to read these names. All right, so based on the feedback we got from people who have taken this course in the past, we prepared this slide that shows how people have benefited from this course in the past. So generally speaking, they felt that they were calmer, they had less stress, they had new ideas, they felt empowered, and they had overall more productivity. I let you read the rest of them. And also, companies who've taken this course for their employees shared with us very positive feedbacks, and we put some of them on this slide. You see that they noticed that faster decision making, more cohesive teamwork. They noticed igniting passion among the group, and overall they noticed more productivity and better customer service satisfaction, obviously. All right, so we're going to work together for the next couple of days. We're going to spend a lot of time having fun together, right? So let's make the best out of it. Let's see how we're going to work together so you get the best experience and learn this information and apply it towards the changes that you want to create in your life. So let's see how we're going to work together and how we're going to make it happen, how you're going to show up in this course, and what are your expectations. So I'm gonna draw this triangle here. Let's say this is your company, this is you, and this is me. So we had some agreement, let's call it psychological agreement, between me and your company to make this course appropriate for you. And we don't go to the details in the interest of time. And the same thing, you had some agreement between you and your company, so you're able to participate in this course. And we don't delve into the details of that, neither in the interest of time. So what we're interested in here to see how you and I are going to work this together so you get the best experience and you learn what you need to learn from this course and apply it in your life. So based on the previous feedback I got from the people who I trained, I know people like confidentiality. This is an interactive course. You want to feel comfortable to share your thoughts with the whole group. So let's write it down. Confidential. So what else you think is important for you to see in this course? How are you going to show up? Open mind? Fantastic. How about full participation? Right? This is an interactive course. Right? Challenging yourself? Absolutely. You want to learn new information, so you're going to challenge yourself at some points. And then watch for intrusive thoughts that may limit your experience. The thought that, well, what is happening now in Instagram, or I know this subject, or I read something different than this, right? You want to watch for limiting thoughts. And then you want to use what you learn during this course, when you get out of here, you want to apply it towards things in your life. So, and then yes, absolutely, have fun with it. Having fun when you learn the information is the best way to retain the information and remember it and use it in the future. So, anything else? Yes, you want your questions to be answered? Yes. Since you mentioned that, I'm going to answer questions differently. Sometimes if your questions is related to the topic that we're discussing, of course I answer your questions. Sometimes I know the questions that you're asking is going to be answered in the future chapter, and then I'm gonna mention that to you, because this is a multi-layered learning. It's like building a house. First you start with the foundation, right? So, and then sometimes I want you to come up with your answers, because when you come up with your answers and you get that aha moment, I love to see that on your face. Yes, I'm selfish in that way, and I want you to come to me or share with me through emails or a call or something else, and tell me the aha moments, something that you realize and changes your life forever. I've done that and I've had that and I love those experiences. So, any questions? All right, if you think of anything else, please write it down somewhere with different sharper in the break. All right, so let's review this on the next slide. So this is your company, your agreement between you and your company, and then I had some agreement with your company, and then we discuss how we're going to work in this together so you get the best results. And we said that you're going to keep an open mind, you're going to play full out, you're going to challenge yourself because you learn the information, you're going to watch out for thoughts that may limit your experience, you're going to use what you learn in your life, and last but not least, have fun with it, right? All right. So, let's spend some time to get to know each other. I would love to hear your name and the role in your company, and what is the one or two things that you want to change in your life or at work, and what is the one thing that you need to take away from this course today and tomorrow for it to feel like worthwhile use of your time. All right, so let's start from there. All right, thank you for sharing. So since we know each other a little bit, let's introduce Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is the creator of this workbook and this course. Who here knows Dr. Joe Dispenza? All right, a couple of you. So Dr. Joe Dispenza is the author of several best-selling books. He is a chiropractor, he is international lecturer, researcher, and a corporate consultant. In the last 30 years, Dr. Joe and his team has researched how brain works to come up with models and concept to teach us so we can use them and create the changes that we want to create in our life consciously, and make those changes sustainable. All right, so Dr. Joe is going to join us via video format several times during this course, and we're going to learn a lot of concepts from him. And the good news is that, as I said, you're going to get the audio copy of these videos. And feel free to write down if you feel like it's a good way to learn information anyway. And then let's watch the first video as he is eager to welcome to this course, and we're not going to make him to wait anymore. So let's have fun with that video. and enjoy it.
Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I wanted to take a moment and...
All right. So, who is here willing to share what you heard in this video that was intriguing, intrigued your curiosity, was interesting for you, or even maybe concerns you, or anything that you found interesting? Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you everybody for sharing. So, during this course, many times we're going to ask you to turn to the person next to you and share what you learned. And then you hear me repeating the concept, we hear it in the video, you participate in the exercises. We basically want you to repeat the information. And I want you to explain, and I want to explain to you why we make you to repeat this information many times. Dr. Eric Kendall, who is a Nobel Prize laureate, he is a psychiatrist, he is a researcher and professor at Columbia University. In his research, he found out when people learn one bit of information, one piece of information and repeat it, they could increase the number of neural connections in their brain twice. But the thing is, if they don't repeat the information, if they don't apply it in their life in the matter of hours and days, they're going to lose those new connections. So that's why we ask you to repeat information after Dr. Joe or after something I share with you. And that's not the time to talk about like the new cat in the neighborhood or I don't know, new cars that your friend or yourself got, right? All right. So this workbook that you have in front of you has 6 different chapters. The first chapters is introduction. You basically learn about you, how you have created the life that you're currently living, and then how you can create something different, a new life, or some changes at your work. The second chapter is how do we change? In this work, we say to change, we need to be greater than our environment, greater than our body, and greater than time. And I promise you, you understand this, what it means to be greater than body, environment, and time when we end that second section. The third section is living in survival or creation. So we learn about living in survival or stress, which majority of people living majority of their time in that state. This is a state that makes people sick, and I see a lot of them in my medical practice. It also makes people less productive. It makes people not to be in good communication with others, less collaborative, and be less productive overall. And then also you learn about the state of creation, which is the state of joy and flow. This is the state that we want to spend more time in because we want to be more collaborative. We want to have better communication with our team members and outside the work. We want to be more productive and overall whole and more healthy. The fourth section is about 3 different sections in our brain. So please don't get intimidated by the name brain and neuroscience and those things that you hear during this course, because we simplify this. So in this section, you learn about 3 different sections in the brain that have significant role in change, making the change. So basically, you learn how we go from thinking to doing to being, how we learn some information, how we apply it, and how we become it. The 4th section, the 5th section is formula to change. You are going to learn the formula to create the changes that you desire in your life. It's basically the summary of previous sections, and it's going to be compact in this section. The last section is the waves to the future, and we're going to learn about our brain waves. We learn how to master our mind, because in order for us to go beyond the analytical mind and get to the subconscious mind, where we have our emotional reactions and automatic behaviors and thoughts and beliefs and perceptions. And when we want to change some of those, the ones that are not supporting the new changes that we want to create in our life, we need to go beyond the analytical mind, and we'll learn how we do that by changing our brain waves. All right, any questions so far? All right, so we keep talking about change, and I've never seen anybody has not had to change in their life. Have you? Right. So life is about change. Change is inevitable. In order for us to not only survive, but thrive at our professional and personal life, we need to learn, change, and grow. We must adapt. So, since life is about change, let's see what has been your experience with change in the past. So, if you please turn to the page 2 of your workbook. This is the first activity in this workbook. So, I want you to consider 2 different scenarios in your life. Number 1, identify a time in your life when you wanted to create a change in your life. You did it and you were successful at it. Successful by your definition. And then when you identify that case, please answer these 2 questions. How did you think, act, and feel when you were successful? And the second question is that, how did you stop thinking, acting, and feeling when you made that change in your life and you were successful at it? And the answer to this question and also the next 2 questions are private. So you don't have to share it with the group unless there's something that you want to share with the group. You have questions, or there's something that other people could benefit from. So you have 2 minutes to answer the questions. Any questions? All right, then let's begin. All right. Finish up the last sentence, please. Great. So the next case, the next scenario is sometimes in your life you wanted to do something and you were not successful at it, right? I want you to identify that. And then when you identify that, answer these 2 questions and write it down in your workbook. How did you think, act, and feel when you were not successful doing what you wanted to do? And the next question is, what kept you from making the change that you wanted to create in your life? And write down the obstacles on your way. All right, questions? Let's begin then. All right. Finish up your last sentence, please. All right. So the next question on page 3 is, what was the difference between these two scenarios? What was different about you? So you have a minute to write down this, the answer to these questions, and then we see who would be willing to share with the team. All right? Questions? Let's begin then. All right. So, who is willing to share with the group the difference between these two scenarios, when you were successful and when you were not successful? All right. So, okay. All right. Great. I see you have very clear understanding of this. So, obviously you all answered these questions, right? So you know how you change. You've done it at some point in your life. But what you shared with me is just a list of factors. What we're going to do in this course is taking what you know and what you know at some level, and then add some new concepts, new ideas based on the concepts in neuroscience, and represent it to you so you know the steps that is needed for you to create the changes in your life and to make the change sustainable. All right? So, great. Any questions? All right. So, since we talk about these two cases, that you were successful in one case and the other one you were not successful, I want you to write down what were the costs of not changing in the case that you wanted to make the change and you were not successful. What was the cost of that? And then what was the payoff of not changing? Any questions? All right, then let's begin. All right, so let's get some shares. Who would like to share with us the cost of not changing? All right, great. Thank you very much for sharing. So what about the payoffs of not changing? Great. Thank you. Very good. So do you see the pattern here? What was common? What made you not to make the changes that you wanted to create in your life? Yes, the temporary comfort of not changing. So the temporary comfort of not changing makes us to have not accomplished what we wanted to accomplish in our life, and not get the result that we wanted to get in the past. So you see that we can change in time of pain and suffering, or in times of joy and inspiration. This is a quote by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So, which would be your choice? All right. So, let's deepen our understanding. I want you to tell me, what is your definition of personality? Great. All right. Great. Thank you for sharing your understanding and your thoughts. So let's take it a little bit further. In this work, we say your personality creates your personal reality. And your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. So, in another word, the person who is sitting here today, called you, has created your current life. Your personality has created your personal reality. So if you want to create a new life, then it makes sense that you have to change. If you want to create a new personal reality, your personality has to change. And the thing is, majority of people, they want to create a new life while they're staying the same. They want to have a new personal reality while they have the same personality. And it's not possible. To create a change in your life, you need to change. You need to become a different person. Yes or no? All right. Please turn to the person next to you and share what you learned. All right. So let's discuss it further in the next activity on page 5. Just please consider the 2 cases that you used for the previous activity. One case you were successful making the changes, and the other one you were not successful. And then when you review them, you would agree with me that in the case that you were successful, your thoughts, your actions, and your feeling was different than your normal, regular thoughts, actions, and feelings. Yes or no? And then in the case that you were not successful making the changes that you desired to create in your life, your thoughts, actions, and feeling were the same routine thoughts, actions, and feeling in the past. Yes or no? All right. So I want you to discuss it in more details, considering what we already discussed. Your personality creates your personal reality, and your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. All right then, let's discuss it at your table. All right, so who would like to share what the summary of what you discussed at your table? Great. All right, thank you. So you see, if you have the same thoughts, you have the same actions and behaviors, and you have the same feelings, then you got the same personality, right? Then you're going to create the same personal reality. You're going to have the same life. So your life stays the same because you are staying the same, right? Same life, same personal reality, same you, same life. This is another way of saying it. So, again, personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And that's the same as state of being, how you show up in the world. And we're going to explain more about state of being later on in this course. So if your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings are the same as your thoughts, actions, feelings in the past, basically you have the same personality. You have the old personality, and you're creating your past, present, personal reality or your life. You're creating more of the same. Yes or no? All right. So, another way of saying it is our brain is the memory record of the past. It's basically an autobiographic self based on what everything that we have learned and experienced in the past to the present moment. So if you think, act, and feel the same as you always did, it's basically thinking, acting, feeling in the past. It means that your personality is from the past and you're creating more of the past, and it's going to be known to you. It's routine, it's the predictable and familiar to you. And then nothing changes in your life until you change, and your future will be more of your past. So let's walk you through the next activity to see how this model is working in somebody's life. If you turn to page 9, please. You see there are some examples of some thoughts that people have. There are some bullet points. The first one, no one here can make decisions, and when they do, they change them at the last minute. Next one, my boss doesn't appreciate any of my ideas and suggestions, or how I work hard, how hard I work. And are these familiar to you? Yes? All right. So who would like to share an example that is more relevant for your team? All right, great. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So please pick any of these and answer the first questions. When someone is thinking in this way, how might they act? The next one is, if somebody thinks this way and act this way, how might they feel? And the last question, what kind of personal reality this person is creating by thinking this way, acting this way, and feeling this way? Any questions? All right, please write down, and you have 3 minutes. All right. Finish your thoughts, please. Great. So, how does this example help you to see how people think, act, and feel creates their personal reality or their life? So, our reality can change based on how we think, act, and feel. Yes or no? All right. So